I mean, you're here, you don't care, right? I just can't be late. So let's head on over. Where is Vicky? No.
Live. You are now live, Jenny. I just set you up. So you're good.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, hey guys, good morning. It's Jennie Wolek here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I get to hang out with you today. Thanks for joining me. I know James is out. It's a Monday. You probably are showing up to dive into listings because that's what this month is all about. Well, never fear. I'm going to talk about seller listings as well. But before we do that, I want to hear from three people. Barb's already got her hand up, and tell me something good that we can kick off this new week with.
Good morning, Jenny. It's so good to see you here. See you,
I'm here.
usually it's just your picture. Anyways, okay, this is just something that happened and it was just too cute not to share. Saturday morning, I'm driving to my walk. I walk with my girlfriend about 10 kilometers. Anyways, so I'm driving and it's a busy street and I come around a corner. Now, thank goodness it was early. So I come around a corner and I see a mother duck on the road with a whole bunch of babies. So I blocked traffic very quickly. Got kind of honked at. But anyways, I blocked traffic. I got out of my vehicle. The gentleman that was in the other lane, he stopped as well. So I was able to, these little baby chicks couldn't get up on the curb. So the mother duck got up. And so I just picked each one of them up and put them on the curb so that they could get away from the busy road.
Such a good deed. Way to go. Then, that's dangerous if somebody wasn't paying attention. So
Oh, I
good
know.
job. Good job, Barb. All right, Carol Castle and guest.
This my grandson JD and
Hi.
he's eating this week. Can you say hi, JD?
Hi, Jay. Hi.
Anyways, so he just turned 7, so I'm here for his birthday, and so I get to be grandma mom all week because my daughter is in the now state FFA convention, and his dad works, and there he goes because he gets to watch Minecraft while I'm on my call, so he's happy.
I've heard grandma is the best job ever. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
agree or not.
grandma is the reason to let your children live. That
Oh goodness. Well, hopefully I don't have to worry about that for a while, but that's a good deal. All right, Scott, you get the last one, and we're going to hop into our topic for today.
Good morning. So I know some of you know that I've been really diving into calling expireds, and it's something that I've never done in my business before. But I was able to set my first appointment early last week, and I have it today, and it's already a slam dunk. I know that for sure. But it's just I'm just really, really chuffed that it's been able to turn over so quickly because I've only been doing it for like 3 weeks.
Congratulations. It's amazing when you finally get to start seeing some results from all of your efforts. So way to go. I know we're all cheering you on with that. Well, let's get into today's topic. James has this whole month on seller focused listings because guess what? Actually, Gary says in MREA on page 41, if you want to follow along, is that listings, specifically seller listings, are the gift of the real estate gods. Now, I'm going to do a little reading for you this morning, and then we're going to dive into this topic. So be ready to share. All right, listings are high leverage, maximum earning opportunity in our industry. Conventionally, your income from having a seller listing is no different than closing on a similarly priced home for a buyer. What separates the two is the amount of time necessary to work them. I like saving time. I like maximizing my time. I don't know about you guys, but if you go over to the next page, I'm going to keep reading for a minute. So from the very start, by concentrating on listings, first and foremost, you could potentially double or triple your gross income on the same amount of work. If this isn't incentive enough, then you can consider how listings provide a lead generation platform. So every seller listing you have a sign in the yard, you can market around that property, you can call around that property, TCPA compliant, of course. You can use that property in video and social media, and of course, host an open house, which allows you to do so many other marketing and prospecting opportunities as well. So our research shows that one listing properly marketed should generate enough leads to produce a minimum of one closed buyer. At the end of the day, listings give you better control. I know you guys are control freaks. Don't pretend like you're not, but how cool to have more control of your time and your focus. So they give you better control of your time. Oh, there it is. And also in your marketplace and your future, which is important. That's why we affectionately call them the gift of the real estate gods. Now that's enough from MREA. I just wanted you to have the foundation of our conversation today. But what I was thinking about, we just had our team mid-year review. So we take a pause in our business. We look back this year. You know, we set this big goal of what we were going to accomplish, and then we get to dive into the reality. Well, what we noticed is that of the seller listings, of the listings that we have sold, have pending, and have in our pipeline, where are they coming from? Now, what we found is that they are all tied to, in some fashion, divorce, death, or downsizing. So that reminded me, you know, we've got all those D's about why people would sell. So I went to the internet and I found that these are the D's. If you guys want to write these down so you can always be thinking about these D's. So these are why some people would maybe be moving: death, divorce, downsizing, debt, diapers, and diamonds. Aren't those fun? So if you're always thinking about like who would make a move, but then I want you to get real specific like our team did. It was really those three reasons. So that told me deployment is a great one to add. Diplomas, perfect. Okay, you guys are great. So write all those down so that you've got them to push over to the side. But look at your own business. Where has your business come from this year with seller listings? Ours, like I said, was divorce. Not a great situation, but they need to sell. Someone's passed away. That stinks. Maybe someone inherited a home. A family member gets to deal with that situation, and then also downsizing. So if that is who is selling right now. Now, I know James talked with Erin Simons and Emily Baker. I got to talk with Erin last year on the same topic, is getting really focused on the who. So if we know who needs to be selling, how can we adjust our marketing, our messaging, our stories, and our conversations to be there and available when those are the people that we know are likely going to be the candidates for making a move this year? All right, Dean Moss, #1 on Monday. Let's go.
Hey, good morning, and thanks so much for the opportunity, Jenny. Great day with you, and thanks for leading the call. You forgot one of the D's, and we call it here in Chicago, duh, new job. Begins with a D, duh, new job. And something like that could be a new job. It could be a school situation. It could be some other community thing that they need to be involved with a little bit more. They want to be closer to something. But it's always something like that, which is basically a trigger in their lives. It's a pivotal moment, not to coin a term that has already been pulled, but it's a pivotal moment for those people. And that's when they begin thinking about doing something different. Now, some people think about this, they don't make a move for another 2 years. But some people really need to. And the trick we have to follow and we have to master is finding out who are the, what I call the AAA urgents, the top urgents, and really key on those and their needs. So I just want to share that thought, something we do. Thanks for sharing.
I love it. That's great. All right, you guys know, really the question is, so be thinking about this and get your hands up. So the question is, what is your message or your marketing or your methods of delivery to make sure your database knows that you are specialists and can really help this category of people who will be needing to sell? All right, Frank, what you got?
Well, thank you. If we look at all these categories, all right, and I'm working on my NAR SRES certification, because the money is in the older people, and generally they're the ones that are going to be doing more selling. Lifestyle changes, health problems, family issues, whatever it happens to may be. So, and divorce also is in there with them. So these are the people that you work on. 99, in fact, this year, 100% of my business has come just from my database, from referrals of people I know and all. And that's what we all want to get to. And I send out information to my whole database every month. Something special comes along, something different. I send out more stuff. And You can't overtouch people. That's for sure. And you just keep working it. I personally like the ones that want to sell and then buy. Makes it
Oh,
easier.
yeah, a twofer. Those are great as
Yeah.
well. All right, Orly,
Thank
I
you.
know you've got some knowledge on this topic.
Yeah, so listings give you control and consistency of business. The buyers will come like bees to honey, so don't even worry about going after buyers. They're plentiful. If you've got the product, the buyers will come. So as far as messaging, I mean, I looked at my business actually last week, and so far this year, we were about 67% past clients. So yes, it's being in touch with your past clients. So when their life changes, you're the one they call. In fact, ironically enough, my buyer's agent sold a house in 2017. She got a call last Tuesday from the husband. I happened to be at exhibit night for my granddaughter on Wednesday, and the ex-wife is her teacher. So the ex-wife said to me, I think, we're going to have to sell the house. I moved out a year ago. So that's a touchy situation. But the point is, I have never met them. My buyer's agent, sold it in 2017, but I did my job staying in touch. And when they're needy, when their need comes along, you are the person that they know has the compassion, the experience to guide them along with this. I actually did a postcard years ago because I'm a big postcard queen, where I did have a couple splitting apart, a couple getting engaged, having a baby. So I kind of put the message out there, like, no matter what's going on in your life, I'm here for you. So you can do that messaging, but I think more importantly, it's hard to target that right buyer at the right time. You can do downsizing seminars, which I've done, and I think I'll be speaking to the group about that with James Shaw, how to do a downsizing seminar. So you can target specifically those people that are thinking of downsizing, but keep in mind, they may not be thinking about it till 3 years from now, but you want to get there first. You want to be the person that's going to guide them into staging and hold their hand, because you're going to be the person at the end of the day that's going to get the listing. So all of these things with consistency gives you control of your life and gives you a better, consistent business.
So good, so good. I've also noticed I've gotten to work with some divorce clients recently, and it was my reminder is we really have to walk delicately through those relationships and conversations. So everything was shared in a group text or group email or a group call, because you don't want one to feel that you're having side conversations with the other. Just my personal tip that I have experienced. All right, Miranda, what you think?
Good morning, Jenny. How are you?
Hey, awesome.
So I totally agree with what Orly was saying, of course, about doing seminars and the messaging that you send. I think being helpful is always the message that you want to send, no matter what people are moving for. Always send the message that you're here to be helpful. You're here to pour into the community, not just when they're selling, but also when they, need help in various areas of their life. So I'm really big on posting. I use social media primarily to get my messages across. I don't do a lot. I actually don't do any mailers at all. I just historically didn't find they were useful for me, for my business. But I'm very careful about the stories that I tell. So I go on social media, I do live videos, or I do reels. So, like, for example, on Saturday, I was at a walkthrough for a post-closing possession, and the home had closed on Monday or whatever, and I was holding the baby because that's the reason they moved, was the baby. They had one child already. They had another older, child from a different relationship. So they had 3 kids now, and they had a 3-bedroom home, and the wife was not sleeping anymore. She said that there were days that she was sleeping on the floor in the bathroom because the baby was crying and she had no place else to go. And so you got to tell those stories to people. Why are people moving? Well, because they need to sleep. Sleep is important. And so I went on social media on Saturday, and I just told the story. I'm holding the baby. And I just told the story. I talked about the post-closing possession to help give some information to people about what that means, because a lot of people don't even know, well, what is that? How that's even a thing. So trying to be, Dean, does sleep. Okay. You're giving all us Chicagoans a bad rap here. We don't all talk like that. But no, you're funny. But yeah, So I think I think social media, a lot of people won't turn on the camera. And I have just learned that, you know what? It doesn't matter if I have my makeup on. It doesn't matter if my hair is done. It doesn't matter if I have a cute outfit on. Just turn on the camera. Done is better than perfect. Tell the story. People like to watch videos. Your stagnant post. And now I still do the stagnant posts of just closed, but nobody's looking at those. Nobody cares. I do those just because I kind of have to, but that's videos are what sells, and I tell the story.
Storytelling is so important. You guys didn't know you'd have to master a contract, negotiations, and also be a social media and marketing expert at the same time. Oh, and an events planner as well. Yeah,
You know what? 2 weeks ago at Gary Keller Mastermind, he talked about how we actually need to be a marketing company that sells houses. We need to be a marketing company first.
That's right. That's right. Good share. Good share. Hey, Renee.
Hey, good morning, Jenny. How you doing?
Hi. Awesome.
Awesome. So I was just gonna say, for me, marketing is something that I'm really ramping up. But before I could ramp up marketing, again, I had to identify who I was marketing to. So I focus on three specific pillars: probate, seniors, and then sellers. And what do I mean by sellers? I've gone into ChatGPT and I've said, okay, what are like 100 of the most common fears that sellers have when they're, listing their home or thinking about listing their home? And so, everybody's got a motivator, everybody's got a pain point. And so I'm pushing on those pain points in such a way that it's gentle, but it's speaking to the fear before they voice it. And so I put an example of it in the pivot group last week with a reel. So I'm doing reels and I'm doing voiceovers. Now, why am I not doing it with my face, and being on camera? It's not that I'm not comfortable with it. It's that I don't want me to be the focus. I want the pain point to be the focus. So I do these voiceovers that I then turn over to my VA, and then she creates the reel. And of course, my picture is at the very end, so they hear my voice, they see my face, and they hear their fear being vocalized, verbalized, so that it resonates with them. And so, so far I've gotten good response. No listings from it yet, but this is a strategy that I just implemented in this last week. So I'll keep you guys posted on how that's going. But in addition to that, I've identified in my other two pillars, how I want to build that business out. And it is through referrals. Seniors trust, their marketing directors, from the places that they're going to visit. Probate families trust their attorneys. And so I'm leveraging relationships with those individuals and have complete, marketing strategies worked out for both sides, actually for all three sides, that envelops not just reels and social media posts, but seminars as well. I've been doing seminars for years. And just leveraging those relationships with the people that they trust. Because if their attorney or their community director said, you need to call Renee, they're going to call me. I did a listing appointment last week with an elderly couple that was referred to me. And I said, now, if what I say makes sense, is there any reason why you wouldn't work with me? Now, this is my first meeting with them. And they said, oh, well, you're our friend. Why wouldn't we work with you? We think of you as a friend already. So
Such a great reminder, and good job for getting into action with that, Renee. That's awesome. Hey, Pat, what do you think?
So I have a coach for the first time ever. I'm happy to say that. Yep.
What?
Yep. I know. 37 years without a coach. So she has me using text messages, and she taught me how to do text replacement. So I also got an iPhone. So, okay. So I've been doing text replacement, and I've been doing text messages to people. I did Mother's Day, and I'm working on Father's Day. But we also looked at when I go into command and I pull it up and I say, show me the home anniversaries. So I have people I sold houses to who are having a house anniversary of 31 years, still there, 25, 27, 21. See, I'm too good at my job, they stay.
Wow.
So we were working on some different things to put into a text message to just allow people to remember, because I've not been great at letting people know, oh, are you still in business? Yes. So that's my bad. So I've been using text replacement because my coach feels that texting is a much more effective way.
Efficient, right? Efficient.
It is.
You can
And
get
I also use AM cards. So last week when I pulled up my command to see who's got a home anniversary, someone 31 years this week. So last week I sent them an AM card. And all I said was, it's been 31 years. Can you believe it? 31 years. Oh, all is well. Done.
There you go. I love it. Great reminder, and an easy touch is staying in touch with our past clients who have a home anniversary. All right, Pat, you might be the one wrapping us up here, so let's let you go.
Okay, good morning all. I don't have my camera on, and it's for all of your safety that I don't have my camera on. So this morning, today, now I get so much pushback on this. I am spending about 8 hours today on the golf course with the Bucks County Bar Association. And that encompasses all of the Ds. But my goal today is to go there and pick up at least 3 more relationships with attorneys, and be able to develop those relationships, and then the relationships I already have to even further them. So what do I have to do today? I have to know my stats before I go there, what's going on in our present market, because I am not going to stand up and say, let me tell you about the stats. But what kind of questions do you think I'm going to get from these attorneys? Hey, Pat, what's going on? What do you see? And that's my 2 cents for today.
Well, that was a great share as well. What a wonderful day. It's Monday. The sun is coming out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so I'm ready to get my day going here. Thank you guys for sharing. Of course, come back tomorrow and every other day. Have an amazing one, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thanks, Jenny. Great call.
Thanks, Jenny.
Thank
Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you.